everyone, it's Shauna from Payorwait, and today I'm going to be reviewing and recapping Yellowjackets Season 2, Episode 3, Digestive, okay? So we saw the end of last week's episode where, I guess, Taissa, or Evil Ty, basically, took control while she was driving in the car with Simone, and then basically ran through a light in order to get into an accident. I don't understand, but why ain't nobody tell us where Sammy at? Who got Sammy? Where he at? How you doing? He still at school? It's just answers questions that I need answers to. Because I saw a vision of Sammy, but I didn't know if that was like Sammy or like Sammy that she made up in her head because she made up Sammy come to the house the day before or earlier that day. So I don't know what's going on, okay? But we see that Simone is in the hospital. She's basically in a coma. And we see that when Ty actually comes back to, when she looks at Simone's hand, she sees that she drew the symbol on her hand. This is the same symbol that the younger version of Ty walked into the woods to that tree that led her and Van to that symbol. So I'm not sure what's going on, okay? So we see that when she goes to the bathroom, she sees her reflection, but her reflection like not moving. And I was like, sis, what you got going on right now? Like, and what was she mouthing to her? It'll be interesting if they're going to give us more backstory. And also, too, like, how does this relate to the younger version of her? Remember the whole scene with her and her grandmother? I feel like there's something like a deeper connection or something that she had even before she had made it to the wilderness, getting lost with the girls. So I just wish that they would kind of get to this a little sooner rather than later. I know it's only the 3rd episode, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. Overall, I'm kind of disappointed in this episode. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about it. But there was nothing happening that made me feel like, I can't wait to watch next week. I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. So we do see that I was wondering what medication Ty had took in the last episode, but if she was actually taking Adderall in order for her to keep going, since she's been burning, all cylinders since she's won the election and with Simone and Sammy leaving. So it seems like she's been taking Adderall to kind of stay up and kind of be able to do all these things at once. So what was confusing though was like, so the assistant came and Taissa took the keys. And I was like, sis, you just got into a car accident, honey. You don't want to call an Uber. You don't want to call a Lyft. Like, and you just gave her the keys. Like, I know that's your boss, but you just gave her the keys after she is literally like looking at her wife in a coma because of her driving. Like, haven't made sense for me, but whatever. So let's talk about Misty. Because actually, I was excited to see Walter and Misty kind of do their whole interrogation together. But I'm not going to lie to you. After the first scene, Misty ends up meeting Walter at a marina. And so they're going to interrogate the witness who, might have information as to what happened to Natalie, who was a group of people that took Natalie. And so we find out that it's Randy, who's been staying at the motel because he got into it with his boot thing. And so Misty was like, bruh, I can't sit up here with you. Like, I know Randy. He know me. What you talking? Like, I can't do this. So they come up with this idea that she's going to call him and he's going to use his earbuds and she's basically going to tell him what to ask Randy, while he's doing this interrogation. So it was funny at first because when she told him to hit Randy, I was like, man, why are we resorting to violence so quickly? And him having to go back and forth to the bathroom to come back out, it was just too much for me. And I did find that part funny. But to be honest, it got kind of annoying. It felt like the bit went on a little bit too much. To the point where when they actually cut back to them, I was just like, we still doing this? Like, we can't do something else? So I don't know where all of that is going to go. It might get more sinister once Walter figures out why she's been downvoting, all of the posts that he's had about Adam, which she asked her about if she comes with this side story. But right now, it's not giving what I thought it would be giving. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would love to know what your thoughts are about that whole storyline or that whole subplot. But we do find out that Randy ends up telling them that they drink up all the Fanta. So Misty gets the idea like, well, maybe we could track the credit card for the machines to figure out who these people are. And then Walter ends up sending Misty the information on where the address was from the credit card. So they have another lead on it. So I feel like they're kind of setting it up that Walter's going to figure out what happened to Adam and Misty's going to have to make a decision on she got to get rid of him or what's going to happen. But right now, I hope that they kind of get to that a little bit sooner rather than later because it wasn't giving what they thought it was giving. So let's talk a little bit about Shauna. So her husband, Jeff is still like in his feelings about Shauna having this affair. And so why did he say Strawberry Lube was for bisexuals and golf people? Like, sir, where did you come up with that? Like, how that make sense for me? So basically, he feels like he was like a boring lover because when Shauna would try to introduce new things, he kind of just like, nah, I don't want to do that. So kind of get into the same boring routine. So, they kind of have a conversation, and she was like, it wasn't because of you, it was me. Which when people be saying that, I'd be like, you just trying to spare his feelings, Shauna. But she was just like, I'm tired of doing the same thing. And so I liked the idea of not knowing what was going to happen next. Like, it was the thrill that made me want to have this affair. It didn't necessarily have anything to do with you. So Jeff gets this bright idea that he's going to be spontaneous, okay? He whipping a car like they in Grand Theft Auto or something. And then they end up almost hitting somebody. And I was like, oh my goodness, did y'all kill him? But then they get out and the dude pulled a gun on them. I said, now what in the hell kind of scamming is this going on now? He pulled a gun on him, and then Shauna was like, oh, hell to the no. So she grabbed the gun. Jeff looked at her like, bitch, did you just grab this damn gun like that? And I was like, but yeah, Shauna, like, did you really just grab the gun like that? She was like, you are not going to get in that van. So then Jeff started tussling with her. They tussling, and the dude dropped off with their car. So Jeff was like, bitch, who you think you is, Rambo? And I was like, Jeff, why can't you just let Shauna. Shauna's just better at you in certain things, okay? It don't make you less of a man, honey. But you now the car got stolen because you wanted to tussle with me when you should have been tussling with the dude who took our car, okay? We ain't got no money, and you won't let him take the car, okay? So she's like, you got my purse in it. So I guess Shauna gets... Actually, let me just go to Jeff, because Jeff's still getting on my nerves. Jeff goes to the gym. I guess he's trying to get his little aggression. He's trying to get some chesticles and some bicycles, okay? So he sees Kevin in the gym, and he goes to confront Kevin. But before the dude was going to use the machine, he was like, I'm still using that. And I was like, sir, let's practice good gym etiquette. I know you're upset that your wife cheated on you, but don't be hogging the machines in the gym, because that's disrespectful as well. So then he goes to confront Kevin, like, you upset my wife. Like, I know you don't think she got something to do with this. What's going on? And Kevin's like, well, why are you sitting up here talking about your wife is upset? Do you know your wife was exchanging hundreds of text messages with this dude? And then somebody told me the tea on the street is that she was having an affair. Okay? So Jeff tried to play it off like my wife would never. And I was just like, no, Jeff, I know you don't even believe this lie that she's telling Kevin. And Kevin don't believe it either. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't feel like he should have even said anything to Kevin. They just implicate themselves every single episode. I'd be like, Shauna, for somebody who didn't skin people alive, who didn't ate their best friend, who didn't smash their best friend's boyfriend, like, you just be doing dumb stuff. Jeff be doing dumb stuff too. I don't understand how many more dumb things y'all gonna do. How many? Because I can't take it, okay? So we see that Shauna gets this whole idea that she's going to track her phone, because he took her purse with her stuff in it, track the phone. So the Uber driver dropped her off like, sis, it's dark as hell. You sure that you want me to drop you off here? And I was like, Shana, what you finna do? So Shana go up in there. She got the gun. She put a gun on the dude. And basically, he was like, I know you're not about that life. Your hand's shaking, okay? You ain't about that life, girl. And she was like, I'm not about that life, ho? Okay, let me tell you what it feels like to skin a human alive, to peel their skin off, okay? So basically, even then, he was like, okay, this bitch about that life. Go ahead and get your little rusty ass car and get on up out of here. So he gave her the keys. And she was like, thank you. And then she got her car. Jeff sitting up there like, how did you get this car back? But it is what it is, okay? Shauna, I gotta do what I gotta do. If I call her Shana, I'm sorry, but y'all know who I'm talking about anyway, Shauna. Okay. So I'm gonna save Lottie for last, and I'm gonna talk about the young versions of them. So we finally get a backstory for Ben, who I felt like, is he gonna die? Because, like, you know, when you start getting backstories on people that they never covered, like, but now you want to give a backstory, I was like, is my man gonna die? And even Travis looking like, are you okay? Like, you don't look so good. So it was nice to see, I think his name was Francois Arnaud, who plays Paul, his boyfriend at the time, before he left to go get on the plane. I remember her from Midnight Texas and The Borgias. But I was happy to see him. So we see that they're having a conversation. And basically at this time, Ben was not living out proudly who he was. And, Paul was like, you were supposed to move in after the holidays. It's been months. Like, I can't be with somebody who's not ready to like experience the fullness of their life. Kind of like, if you're not ready to like accept this lifestyle and be out and proud, I can't do that. So I think you should leave. Okay. And I was like, dang, I really liked him. Why are you being like this? But I guess at this point, he trapped in the wilderness, so we don't even know what the hell played out. So we see Ben, we cut back. First of all, whoever was in charge of going from the flashback of Ben and Paul to going to Jackie's little bone hand, y'all are highly disrespectful, okay? But let me tell you what wasn't left. Not an ounce of skin. Baby, they cleaned them bones off real good, okay? I was like, Jackie must have tasted real good, okay? Because the fact that her bones, that's all that was left was the bones, baby. I know they had a time, okay? With their little mukbang. So we see that Ty comes out and she's like, hold on, y'all. What the hell happened to Jackie? Like, she coming out like, who ate Jackie? And I said, Beach, I know you're not sitting up here talking about who ate Jackie. Even Van was looking at her like, Beach, you was sitting up there right next to me while you was doing a little mukbang with us, smacking and doing everything. So what you mean you don't know what happened? We ate her, Beach. We ate her. You ate her. So Ty looked like, Beach, I did not eat her. And I was just like, child, this girl don't even know that it was the other version of her that ate her. So after she gets visions and can see what happened, then, she throw up. She's like, damn, Beach, we done sit up here and really ate Jackie. Like, what was going on? So she ends up, they end up having a discussion on like what to do with Jackie's bones because they can't dig into the ground because the ground is frozen solid. So they're trying to figure out what to do, and I think that they've been putting them in the plane. That's where they've been taking some of the bodies until they can actually bury it. But Shauna seems to be very traumatized as to what has happened to her best friend. But what I was kind of confused about is like, girl, you ate her ear before we even started eating chicken Jackie. So why are you so concerned now that you ate Jackie when you already ate the girl ear? And it wasn't even cooked or seasoned. So what is the problem? So we see that Lottie makes a comment saying like, basically they're trying to comfort her, like Jackie wanted for the baby. And then she calls the baby like a he. And I was kind of confused because I was like, bring that back. Because I know that Shauna has a daughter. But I don't know nothing about no son. So does that mean that she had the baby? Maybe she gave the baby up. There's another baby out here. What if the person that we think is Travis or that we think is Javi is Shauna's child? I don't know what's going on. But like it got my head spinning. The wheels started turning. I was like, what is happening right now? So I don't know if the baby didn't make it or if she did have the baby, gave the baby up. I'm very interested to know about what is going on with that. Now, they did end up deciding to throw her baby shower because I don't know why Eden Jackie gave them the mind to then like, hey, let's do a baby shower too. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that. So Missy talking to her little BFF, okay? And the girl was like, I ate some. This is not the first time I ate someone. I said, hold on, time out. Like, what you mean it's not the first time you ate somebody? So then she's sitting up here talking about I absorbed my twin in the womb. I said, sis, I don't think that's something to brag about. Like, she looked like she was kind of happy about it. She was bragging about it. I was like, sis, it's not giving what you think it's giving. It's giving Missy, stay away from her, okay? So Ben is scared of all the girls. He come in, he hallucinated the girls trying to eat him. It's just a lot happening, okay? I was just like, somebody please check on Ben because I know my man's is hungry, but he's also scared of y'all at the same time. So we see that when Natalie's taking the rest of Jackie's chicken bones to the plane, she sees this white moose charge at her, but then the moose disappears. So I was like, is she seeing something? Like, what's going on with that whole thing? I'm sure y'all have some conspiracy theory in the comment section to tell me about that. But we go to Ty and Van. Ty about to sleepwalk again. So Van was like, hey, if I let you go, you gonna take me with you? And then evil Ty was like, yeah, girl, I got you. So she started following her, and she was like, so, girl, like, who you be going after? She was like, the man with no eyes, he chose me. And she was like, bitch, what? And then she was like, I go only if she lets me. She was like, hold on, you just said a man with no eyes, now you talking about a woman, like, I'm confused, who is she? And she's like, girl, Taissa. And she was like, Taissa? Okay, so if Taissa lets you go, then bitch, who the hell is you? And then she paused and looked at her, but then stopped. Then Van started talking to her and then woke Ty up. So then we don't know who is she and what is her name, but we see that she led her to a symbol. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but I do feel like at this point we kind of drawing that whole storyline out, and I just really want some type of answers. But we see that Misty's crazy bestie came up with an idea for her. Why did Misty choose to perform a classic Steel Magnolias, a scene from Steel Magnolias? And basically, she decides to do the scene where Shelby is doing her monologue after she lost her child. I said, now, sis, like, I might not be a pro baby showers, but I'm pretty positive I would never tell someone to do a monologue about somebody losing a baby for the person that's pregnant with their child. I'm just saying, like, let's not do that. But it seems like everybody else enjoyed it, and Shauna was looking like, I can't believe y'all let this hoe do this. But Lottie had the best gift, okay? Because she got a blanket, and I was like, thank you, Lottie, for the practical gift. Now, they was upset. Natalie got mad because she saw the symbol. She was like, hold on, bitch. I'm so sick of your stuff. Like, why you put this on the baby blanket? We don't know what the hell you be sitting up here talking about half the time. But the girls was like, look, ho, she be giving us protection, and we need to protect the baby. So before they can even get into their full argument, Shauna's nose started bleeding, and before they can even address her the way they should, then birds started hitting the thing, and they did. Then Natalie sitting up here, was it Natalie? Somebody was like, don't touch it, the birds might be diseased. Now, hold on, ho. Y'all done sat here and ate a whole human corpse with no seasoning, okay? With no seasoning. You ate a whole human corpse, and now you draw the line when it comes to dead birds? How that make sense? Because the math's not mathing for me, okay? So yeah. So I guess since they didn't eat Jackie tastes so good, they too good for the birds. So let's go to Lottie. So Lottie, present day. Natalie's looking at her doing these healing sessions. Like, Natalie has never believed in what Lottie claims that she can do. So of course she's side-eyeing all these people that look like, you know, that she's helping. So Lisa, the girl who Natalie stabbed with the fork, like, she better than me, because as soon as I saw Natalie, I would have been like, beach square up. Like, it's time to get your ass beat, okay? The fact that she was even having a conversation with her, or that Natalie felt comfortable enough to speak to her, I just felt like Lisa beat her ass. Like, I don't even understand. So she tried to, like, be intimidating and, like, chop the little chicken head off, but now it's like, bitch, you think that scared me? I do not care. I'm not scared of you, hoe. So we see that Lottie ends up asking Natalie to come to the class. She didn't want her little session. And I would be like, if I needed a demonstration, like, Natalie would be the last person that would choose in the class. So she called her up. Then she called Lisa up. And I was like, oh, is Lottie finna tell her to square up? So basically, she talks about how Lisa felt like people were taking advantage of her, and how she was upset with Natalie because she was there to help her, and then Natalie took advantage of her and stabbed her. And then Lottie was like, okay, girl, well, use that rage. And if you feel like you need to go ahead and get her back, get your lick in too, go ahead and do it. And she handed her, I don't know if it was a knife or a fork. And I was like, damn, Lottie, okay. I'm here for the messiness. Even now it's looking like, damn, bitch, you finna give her a weapon so she can get back at me. And I was like, it's what you deserve, Natalie. But then Lisa drops in, she just hugs her. I said, she better than me, okay? Because I would have got my lick back. But she ends up hugging her. Then we see that she forgives her. Then Lottie goes outside, and then she looks at the beads, and the beads got all this blood. I said, how do you got all this blood on here with the beads? Like, I'm just kind of confused. But then we realize that it's a vision. So I don't know what's going on with Lottie. But overall, for me, outside of Lottie, young Lottie calling Shauna's kid a he, that's the only thing that really got me this episode. I mean, the thought of Walter figuring out what happened with Adam and how Misty's going to handle that, that's another part that could be cool. But I don't know. This episode just didn't do it for me. It just felt not needed. And if we were going to go into Ben's backstory, like the two scenes that they did, I was just like, it's giving you should have never did anything in the first place. And I'm also trying to figure out, is that real or is that him hallucinating as well? Because he had the little hallucination. Like, what if he would have stayed and chose Paul? So I don't know what's going on. But overall for me, like, I wasn't as invested in this episode. Like, there wasn't that much that happened. It feels like we keep talking about the same things, but we're not moving the plot forward at all. So far, the only thing we know is the girls ended up being found, which we knew. We got a flashback of that, and that how they became cannibals. So I know it's only the 3rd episode, but this wasn't for me. This wasn't an episode for me. I'll be very interested to know what you thought in the comment section below about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you feel like, it's a filler episode? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But those are my thoughts on Yellowjackets Season 2, Episode 3, Digestive. As always, my name is Shauna from Payorwait, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.